So the question I want to ask here is, why exactly is CBDC, or central banking digital currency, good when we spent years saying that digital currencies were really bad or not trustworthy? But before we go ahead and get more into this though, cue intro. Now, I remember over the last few years, or decade really, when all the digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, etc., the whole ones that started this transition came out. People were fairly skeptical of them because of how new it was, as that's pretty normal. Then it started getting more and more popular over the years due to how cool it is, the fact that it's decentralized and has blockchains, so that way the government could not control it or its flow, which means that we, the people, control it. The corruption of the government could not regulate or control this fully non-physical currency. They don't like that, by the way. When corrupt groups can't completely control others' money or the flow of it, then they can't hoard all of it for themselves and their 10 buddies while everybody else suffers.
A central bank digital currency, or CBDC, would be issued by the Federal Reserve. Those pushing for it say it would have several advantages over physical money. They say it could be used to fight inflation because the Fed would have more direct control over the money supply.
Oh, yeah, they did such a good job managing money in 2008 with the whole fucking stock market crashing and everything like that, and the financial collapse, because they were, trying to bail out the big banks and stuff like that after they allowed them to do more shit. Such a good reason to allow them to have even more control, right?
It could speed up transaction payments and help fight money laundering.
Oh, you mean a lot of money laundering that people within the government themselves and their buddies in big business oftentimes are caught performing or hide and sweep under the rug? This would be how they have full control over whether or not you get access to any money at all, but on a complete everyday basis. Kind of like, what they did with the Canadian trucker protests, where, they completely shut down the bank accounts of those people there so they couldn't feed their families or anything like that at all, just because they didn't really like what they were saying, even though they were kind of speaking the truth and expressing their, civilian rights completely legally. We don't like what you're saying or that you're trying to stand up to us. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, how will you feed your families now? We've already kind of seen accounts of where people's bank accounts are frozen or magically just have money disappear from them. That's for no reason, mind you, and without any sort of notice for what they now call bank bail-ins, which use your money to bail them out without your consent either.
So I'm a Bank of America and everybody's missing money. I'm also missing money over $1,300 and they're telling me to call customer service. And they keep hanging up on people. This another person here is also missing money.
Backers say the U.S. needs a digital dollar if it wants to remain the world's reserve currency. Opponents warn that it could be a very effective instrument of government control. Physical money has been called one of the last bastions of privacy. Laws like the Bank Secrecy Act have already stripped away most of the privacy from bank accounts and financial transactions.
Yet we can't get anywhere on those Epstein connections, especially with JP Morgan and that whole lawsuit over in the Virgin Islands that's going on, though, can we? It's so amazing how private that is. I wonder why that's happening.
Banks have really a ton of power that people don't realize to shut down accounts, to freeze accounts, and to end up holding them for really any number of reasons.
Currency expert James Rickards says a digital currency would move America closer to a totalitarian state.
If I buy anything, the government doesn't know it. MasterCard kind of knows it, but even MasterCard uses product codes. So they don't say, you know, Jim bought a Snickers. It says Jim bought miscellaneous merchandise at a retail place. But with this new central bank digital currency, they will, because they maintain the ledger. So if I buy, you know, Ron DeSantis' new book, or I go to a Donald Trump rally, or whatever it may be, the government, using artificial intelligence and having that information, which they would, are able to profile you. They say, well, this guy kind of looks like a conservative, and maybe he's MAGA. And then you've got a target on your back.
Remember how government, law enforcement, etc. used to have to go through some loops to get a thing called a warrant in order to access your personal, private data, or to, I don't know, gain access to search your things to protect you from a thing called unlawful search and seizures under the Fourth Amendment of our Constitution? Here things aren't private. Not in this digital era, they ain't.
What the fuck? Defeated now, bitch!
We've seen this sort of stuff happen in over more than one way in the past decade, especially when it comes to things like our cell phones with devices like Stingrays or IMSEI catchers by local law enforcements, the feds, and even citizens themselves to gain access to all your personal private data in HD quality, everything that's in it on that cell phone, without you even knowing it.
But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
All joking aside though, my dudes, it really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this, and it also helps us to get even further up in that YouTube algorithm to get this info out to even more people, completely 1,000,000% raw and uncensored, you know, because that's really important in today's modern society with all the censorship going on. They even try to censor Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in a court hearing about censorship. So yeah, really important nowadays. But yeah, share with your friends and families. Let them know the truth about what's actually going on here, you know, so that way they can be more informed and we can understand things more fluently and think for ourselves. But with all that being out of the way though, let's go and hop right back on into the video. Now, links for these videos we've done on IMSEI catchers / Stingray devices are going to be in the description down below if you guys want to learn more about this stuff. Unlike paper dollars, it would offer neither the privacy protections nor the finality that cash provides. That direct digital liability, a sort of digital tether between citizens and the central bank, makes CBDCs a radical departure from the digital dollar millions of Americans already use today. We don't know who's using a $100 bill today, and we don't know who's using a 1,000 peso bill today. The key difference with the CBDC is the central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability, and also we will have the technology to enforce that. Put simply, a CBDC would most likely be the single largest assault to financial privacy since the creation of the Bank Secrecy Act and the establishment of the third-party doctrine. No, it would just make things easier, more convenient for us, not give non-elected people or groups more power / control over the average person, nor would it contribute to abuse of the populace by the government to bolster they plus their big business buddies' extravagant lifestyles while we all suffer, right? You mean like what we saw with lockdowns, COVID-19, and its vaccines over the past few years? And now with the attempt to get the WHO's or the World Health Organization's CA plus powers tree passed around the world so they can control people without democratically elected power? Yep, supposedly. Governments have long recognized that freezing someone's financial resources is one of the most effective ways to lock them out of society. However, a CBDC could make the process easier and faster for governments by establishing a direct line between citizens and the government itself, which would allow them to be even closer to setting up a social credit score system for that to flourish in, to have the ability to deny you any access to regular things such as transportation, food, goods, services, etc. if you happen to stand up to them or say anything that they don't want you or anyone else to know about. Kind of like the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing we had going on. That was actually proven in court to be true, by the way. And, you know, before, if you were to talk about that, you were censored, like on Twitter. You'd have your posts taken down. You could be shadow banned or even, you know, banned from certain social media sites. Not to mention, you were demonized by a lot of people on the mainstream media, especially heavily left-leaning or far left-based people in politics and their news networks like CNN, etc., just for expressing, you know, things that you saw that were proven valid or facts that you saw that led to, oh, no, it's not right. You're just a fucking crazy, loony, right-wing conspiracy theorist crank. Those facts are invalid. Our fucking sweet, innocent old man Joe who sniffs little kids' hair and loves his ice cream cones would never do that or hide that from the public. No, not one bit. Now, this would be like what they do over in China with their social credit score system. If anyone happens to do something that the president Xi Jinping doesn't like or agree with.
Who's that?
Nobody. Just a bear. I was wondering, since you're new, if you might have some honey?
No, I don't have any honey. Are you prisoners here?
Some people said Pooh looked like the Chinese president, so we're illegal in China now.
Jesus, what kind of madhouse is this?
They want and are okay with CBDCs because it will allow them to have more control over everyday people, making it easier for them and easier to control our money. Is this starting to make sense? Now, there is a way to make all this work so that does not happen, and it's with the help of blockchains. But big corporations, regardless, don't need unelected power. These systems and the people that run it are highly narcissistic, and if you give them a little bit of power / control over you, they'll keep pushing and pushing until you give more and more and take it further and further. You give them an inch, they take it 100 fucking miles. Do y'all understand how this is more than likely just going to be used as another means to transfer more power and wealth into the hands of this corruption? This is normally how it goes and starts out. They'll be like, oh, well, here, just give up some more of your guys' personal freedoms and rights that you have constitutionally to make your lives easier and more convenient. And we promise not to abuse this power and all that you guys give us at all. We'd never do that. It's not like we've done it several times over the past several decades. No, not one bit. Like, you guys have to understand, they did this with 9/11, and those powers never were retracted that they got granted for emergency use. Then, it's also very similar with COVID and lockdowns and everything else, supposedly. Like, they have these powers that were just supposed to be temporary, but then they stayed and lingered around so they could abuse them and get more wealth and power. Meanwhile, everybody else continues to just scurry and struggle. But that's enough about what I think. What do you guys think? My adoring tribe members, new viewers, etc. Let me know in the comments section down below what your guys' opinions and thoughts are on CBDCs and their uses, and also what you guys think about Bitcoin and these other currencies versus them. I'd love to hear this stuff from you guys. And if you guys did make it to the end of this video, go and leave the word rebel in the comments section down below to let me know that you made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 100% club. Also, if you guys would like a more interactive experience, come join us live every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Time for events like us playing Pokemon Unite and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, etc. We also do have a charity stream called Cleats for Mumuni with a buttload of good rewards and other good things. This Friday, we'll be doing a whole 6-hour stream until 2:30 in the morning. If you guys want to join, feel free to do that. Anything that is donated is greatly appreciated, and it will go to help Mumuni in Ghana get some cleats so he can be even closer to, accomplishing his dream of becoming a professional soccer player. And what's, better than giving to people that are less fortunate, you feel me, and just spreading the love. Also, feel free to join our Discord tribe where we have movie/weeb night every other Friday and watch things like anime, cartoons, share dark humored memes, and just, vibe out and have a good sense of community together. Don't be a fucking dick, you feel me? Be a decent human being, and you gotta be able to take a joke because we do bust each other's asses in there, and there's also dark humor. Just want to say thank you to all 131 now badass motherfuckers of this YouTube tribe. Grateful and love the fact that you guys are here. Hopefully you're enjoying the content I'm putting out here for you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to improve it. But nonetheless, though, just felt like, I give you guys a shout out and say that you guys are the real fucking MVPs for doing this shit. It means a lot to me and helps us get further out in the algorithm to get this stuff out to even more people. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Until next time, though, my dudes, please don't forget to live long and prosper. Take care and peace. Keep it 1,000,000% real. And as always, fuck the system. I will see you guys on the flip side, Z-Trup. Yo!